All right, here we are. On another, you know, episode of Ear to the Streets. It's been a long time coming.
Yes, sir.
We're back here with Nuke, fresh off the world premiere of Detroit Dreams here in Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah.
The premiere before we get into the interview, the premiere went down downtown at the Garden Theater, biggest premiere that Detroit has ever seen.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean,
I appreciate that, man.
one of them, if not the biggest.
I appreciate that, man.
Uh,
That's what I've been hearing too. Like it's the biggest.
yeah, and I was there, so I just want to kind of just speak on like the great experience that I had. It was great. The red carpet was a vibe. Everything was amazing, and furthermore, the movie was amazing.
Appreciate
So, um, let's just catch up, Nope. Let's just catch up. Like, what's been going on since the last interview? It's been a year since the last interview. So,
that. Yeah.
yeah, it's been a year.
What's up?
It's been a year. So, give me like just give me a rundown on what's been going on since then. Cause when we did our last interview, you kind of was just gearing up, and the movie was just an idea at that time. So,
Man, you know what? I think that since the last interview, I think I probably was in my feelings in that first interview. I talked a lot. I should say. I got a lot of phone calls about that interview I did with you because I don't do a lot of interviews with like really in-depth joints. It always be the typical, what project you got out right then, talk about it, what's next, and then on to the one. But I think what you did was talk about history, we talk about legacy, we talk about stuff like that. So I got a lot of phone calls, man, for that joint. You know what I mean? But it's cool. But we've been working like crazy since.
right, right.
You know.
And yeah, I was actually on set of the production of the movie. Like, I was on set like a lot of the days that you guys were filming, and man, it was like my first time on uh I was on the movie set of that magnitude. So with big things comes big responsibilities. So let's kind of just get into that. Let's get into like how does it feel being responsible for something of this magnitude, not only on on the business side as far as it being like a big budgeted movie and a lot of people being involved with the movie, but just you having the culture and the history of Detroit,
Mm-hmm.
you having a responsibility to tell that story for so many different people that have came and went. Like, how was it like carrying that around with you?
To truth be told, I feel like, and they say that you gotta be humble. You gotta stay humble. I think it's the grace of God. I thank God for it. But to be truthfully, I don't think nobody else could have did it better than me. You know what I mean? I don't think nobody else could have did this story, putting all of these people together, putting the old with the new. When you think of the landscape of people that could do that, I don't think nobody could have did it better than me when it comes to that. So I'm excited. I'm flabbergasted for it. But at the same time, I knew it. You know what I mean? Like I knew it. I knew what the movie was gonna do. I knew it was how it was gonna touch people. Because at the same time as it's touching people, you know what I mean? It touched me when I was writing it. You know what I mean? Like when I read it fully, I cried. You know what I mean? Like when I read the story, I'm like, damn, you wrote that. That's why I give it all the grace to God, because I want to tell people I went to Punta Cana, and when I got the deal to do it and secured the budget, I said, fuck it. I went to Punta Cana and just had a good time and wrote a script that I thought was Detroit Dreams. And when I got back, I read it and was like, yo, this shit terrible. Like, you know what I mean? This shit trash. I'm like, damn, I told myself it was trash before I even gave it to anybody. And it wasn't really trash, but it wasn't what I knew I wanted to do. You know what I mean? I wanted a movie that was going to be 20 years down the line, people watching. It needed to be a footprint of Detroit, all cultures, all ages, all aspects. It had to have so many elements, and it was like, how can you put all these elements in one story? So my original thought was just rewrite Crush Groove. So I went to Punta Cana, and that's what I kind of did, was like rewrite Crush Groove in a Detroit way, 2022. But then I was like, yo, this ain't really Detroit. You know what I mean? This ain't authentic like I need. So tore it up, started praying, and it just came to me at one time. I took a little bit out of what I wrote at Punta Cana and started something fresh and new. But I'm telling you, when I read the script and finished it, I cried, and I'm no cap. When we did a script read with the with a couple of the actors, and I had like acting people on there reading the scripts too and stuff like that, like helping us with the script read. The ladies cried at the end. I said, "Yo, this shit hard. This shit fire." You know what I mean? A couple ladies on there like, "Oh, Bobby gonna damn, he gonna why you kill him?" Like, they was just like, "So I don't want to get a story away, but you know, they like, yo, why you?" They was really, yeah, beat that out. They was really like, "Yo, why you on that?" You know what I mean? Jay, you got a couple minutes? You good? Or you on the move? Okay. All right, cool. All right, let's drop it on. Can we cut 1 second? My bad, man. I had to get my shades together, man.
Yeah, yeah. So where were we? Oh yeah. So um, when it like yeah, speaking about like the magnitude of the movie, like once again, like to pull something like this off, of course, like you needed like a lot of like helping hands and different people to bring the story in your vision of life. So just tell me like with working with people, especially with something this big, and when everyone has like a goal that they want to achieve, and everyone has one focal goal that they want to achieve. It people bump heads sometimes, and it gets kind of crazy on set, internally, externally, everything. Like kind of discuss some of the things that the difficulties that you had to deal with getting this project done, creating this project, and getting it out to the people.
To be honest, Detroit Dreams was the hardest movie I ever had to do. That's how I knew it was gonna be great too, because it was the hardest joint I had to do. It was a lot on the line. It was um, it was my biggest budget up to date, and it was multitude of egos and talents. Not only just with the cast, you know what I mean, just with my crew. It was a lot of internal situations going. You know what I mean. A lot of stuff I had to learn about myself. A lot of stuff I had to learn about people. You know what I mean. And like at the end, people were saying like they had this little thing going around the set, like surviving Nuke. I survived Nuke. You know what I mean? Literally, they had this thing going around the whole thing, like I survived the Nuke at the end of the what's the name? At the end of production, the saying was I survived Nuke. The crazy part about it is every last one of them that was at the premiere last night could just was flabbergasted at the movie and just was like overexcited and just like, yo, we love what they did. And I feel like people didn't know I was on a mission from God during that production. I was being tested by the devil a lot, um, but I was on a clear vision. So a lot of people, I feel like, wasn't on that type of time that I was on. You know what I mean? Like I was on some real, and then I was really me, but I just had a lot of things to micromanage, like all these talents and all of these people, and this production, and it was just like all of these things. But like I said, I learned a lot. I learned that less is more.
Right.
I really learned less is more on Detroit Dreams.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. So once you guys so once you guys finish the movie, you guys film, and you do everything you need to do as far as filming the movie. And so tell me about like the post production process. Like none of us were there during like when it was time to edit, or it's time to throw this out, it's time to keep this, maybe we need to add something, maybe we need to change it. I have two questions for you. First, I want you to tell me, just kind of tell me like what was the most difficult part about post production, and then I want you to tell me what was most difficult between pre and post production.
The most difficult thing in post production was editing, of course. Not even no, no, I'm sorry, not editing, freaking syncing the footage. What happened was, and this is no pun to Cino. He's a good friend of mine. I love him dearly. He shot a lot of videos. He's a great video director, and I wanted to bring him into the film. I think he did like a couple, one or two joints before then. I know he said he did, and I'm sure he did. But I know on my film, he ended up shooting the majority, like a lot of the film, maybe 35, 40% of the movie in 60 frames. So that means like all of the shots was really, really slow, like, you know what I mean? And all of the shots. So imagine having thousands of clips like and they're all moving very, very slow. You know what I mean? So that was so frustrating too, because you couldn't just put them on a timeline.
And just for the people to gauge it, like you're
Yeah.
actually supposed to shoot a film in
In 24, exactly. You're supposed to shoot it in normal speed, you know. He shot in, you know what I mean? He shot the whole movie like that. I mean, well, 60, like, 30% in that, whatever. But, yeah, I had to bring so thousands of clips, man. I had to put, single-handedly, I had to put audio to them. But in order for me to put audio to these thousands of clips, we had to slow them down into 24 frame. You know what I mean? So it wasn't just this big grab a big thing and grab a big thing and then boosh. It was like taking each individual clip and having to do that. So, shout out to Ivan. He, one of my guys that worked with me behind the scenes. He did a lot of it, and then even he did it so much, he got frustrated and started fucking up. And I had to come in and just kind of clean up what he did and kind of finish out the rest. So that was the hardest part with this movie. When it got to editing, that's always fun. It's like a video game. You like when I edit like a video game. You can't even put me down because I can't wait to get to the next scene, this, that, and the other. But with the workflow, establishing a good workflow was the hardest part.
And what was hardest between pre and post?
Pre was actually, I would say, man, shit, everything with pre. With pre, I think it all matched up. Like pre was hard as hell because, like I say, you're dealing with so many different celebrities and talents, and people got their own time. Like literally, every single person in Detroit dreams, right? I would say 95% of the cast in Detroit Dreams learned their lines on set. Literally, they learned their lines right there on set. Whether they got them before and didn't read them, or whether they was called in and said, "Yo, do these lines," none of them knew their lines. So it was us having to teach them their lines, then direct them, and at the same time, they a lot of them was celebrities, they artists, so they got stuff they doing, moves they shooting, things like it'd be like it's hard to keep them, attention span right there, especially when they don't see the end results. They just saying, "Nuke, I'm doing this on the love for you." So nigga, quit calling me, bro. Like today I was asleep. You know what I mean? Tomorrow I was, nigga, I had something to do. so it's like, dealing with that was a real hard thing. But it all came out great.
Right. How was it working with your main characters, Smoke and Tay B?
Man, Smoke was deep, man. Smoke was the hardest working person on the movie outside of me. Just being truthful. Every time he called Smoke, he was there. Going toward the end of production, it would get kind of tight for him, you know what I mean? Because I know he had parties and all this type of stuff going on. So, as we went on, or reshoots and stuff like that. But for the majority, Smoke, really for 90%, 95%, Smoke was always showing up, going crazy. Tay B, he had a lot of stuff going on with him. It was just like, I think Tay took it like, this cool, you know what I mean? Like, bro, this cool, I'm gonna do it, but it's cool. We always had to try to explain to him how big this is gonna be, and but not only for him, but for the city and his responsibility. He had a real responsibility with the movie outside of an individual character, Tay B. He had a responsibility of playing his character Flight, who really the city got to get behind. You know what I mean? So as we went on, it was just tough trying to explain to him, like, the importance of just kind of coming on set, not missing set, answering his phone, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But he ended up doing it, you know what I mean? He ended up getting it, knocked it out, you know what I mean? Killed it. As he was more so, like, Smoke was really, really hands-on, going crazy 95% of the movie. Going toward the end, he was kind of like, yo, he had shit he had to take care of, so it might be 15 minutes, 20 late. Tay B was kind of like from the dribble, like, hey, bro, I'm gonna pull up when I want to. Hey, L, no cap, I'm gonna pull up when I want to. But and as we start filming and really start getting more into production, and we need them more and staying on him, and then he's seeing playbacks and he's seeing scenes, he's like, oh boy, this coming out hard. So about the time we was on the last 4 scenes of Tay B, he owned it. Now he stupid professional. You know what I mean? It's like, dang, nigga, now you Denzel. Nigga. You done turned into Denzel on the last two scenes. Yeah, man. But he killed it though. You know what I mean? He did his thing too. So.
Yeah. I enjoyed Tay B's character.
He was perfect for what he was too.
Right.
You know what I mean? One thing about I can say about Tay B is like how he is in real life. It's kind of like how the artist is. You know what I mean? In a sense, so he was very authentic to that character.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I gotta give him that. Same with Smoke. It was like they was kind of really authentic to their characters. That's how they did so good. Never acted in a movie before.
Right. I also wanna ask, how was it working with Matasha? And also I seen Rocky B and Sadiddy were in the film. So just give me like these are like three different females, all three like relevant names in the city, but they have like three different bags, three different personalities, but they're all females.
See, I'm scared of you, Jay, because you ask me questions that get, you know what I mean, that get me in trouble later. Like, people be calling me, yo, man, yo, man, you know what I mean? But, nah, they all know I'm an authentic person, you know what I mean? And I never, like, sugarcoat nothing or never hold back on nothing. But all them girls is beautiful that you mentioned. Sadiddy good, you know what I mean? Sadiddy came through, killed it. Who else? Crystal came through, killed it.
Yeah,
Crystal was on my head.
I really enjoyed Crystal's character.
It was funny because Crystal was like, Nuke, I almost don't want to do this because you sonning me, like, you know what I mean, giving me this little role, bro. Like, I'm a real actress. I'm like, Crystal, trust me. Like, you're going to be significant to this story.
She
like,
is.
I had to sell it to Crystal because she was on some shit like, yo, man, you don't know what I do? You know what I mean? Like, yo, I love you, Nuke, but you know I'm heavy now. I'm like, yo, just trust me. So it was good how she worked out in the movie because she was always coming in very opinionated. I'm sure she loved it. I ain't talked to her yet, but I'm sure she loved it. Who else? Rocky, my baby. That's like little sis, man. That's like me and Rocky have deep conversations, man. Like she be needing big bro. She be needing a real nigga sometimes. That ain't gonna tell her what she want to hear, but tell her what she need to hear. You know what I mean? And I'm like one of those people, you know, that when she call, you know what I mean, like just to get information from. So that's sis. I had to literally pull her in a movie like, yo, nah, fuck that. Come here and do this shit, like, period. You know what I mean? Because Rock may get in her dark space sometimes. She might, you know what I mean? She be love and happy, and then sometimes she may be fuck the world. And at the moment, I caught her on the fuck the world move. And I'm like, yo, nah, I need you to come get over here and get in this jump. And she ended up getting her out of that fuck the world mode. You know what I mean? Just being a part of that, seeing the love on the sets and like everybody loving her. And she's like, yo, this shit is cool as hell, look. So that was cool. Matasha, another one, you know, good girl. I ain't never really like been around her like a lot, but it was like for some reason, as soon as me and Matasha started getting around each other, we became like brother and sis. She like just cool. She good people. She took it seriously. Matasha took it real serious as well. The only thing about her was she would have distractions. You know what I mean? Like she had a few distractions. Sometime maybe on set. Sometime maybe, you know, the phone. She had a lot of phone distractions. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But for the most part, Matasha killed it. You know what I mean? She did what she was supposed to do.
That's what's up. So yeah, just sum it up. Like, here you've had like a series of events this weekend leading up to the premiere.
Yeah.
Just tell me how important all of that stuff is, because I know like how important the film was. We've been kicking it on that, and we've had, you know, interviews stating how important the film is and the story is to you. But tell me how important this weekend was leading up to the premiere.
It was very important, man. The premiere was we had an idea. I seen how 50 Cent, you know, did in Atlanta with BMF. He had a BMF premiere. And it was like at a club, almost like a baby arena or something. You know what I mean? It had everybody dressing all black, and he made it like a real cultural experience. So that's what we tried to do with that's what we did with Detroit Dreams. So I knew it was gonna be big because we wasn't doing the typical theaters. You know what I mean? And shout out Light Skin Films. He was like, yo, we need to go crazy with it. Let's do billboards. Let's do trucks. Let's do radio. Let's just go crazy with it. So we decided collectively to go crazy with it like that, and it turned out well, man. But more importantly, what I wanted to do was, for the whole weekend, I wanted to figure out how can I give too, because I knew this was my blessing. Like I knew after that day things was gonna change. A lot of things in my life probably was gonna change, even from my perspective on how I think. I ain't even talking about like from a, I don't know what's gonna happen next business wise, but I know for me, it's like letting a huge nut off, like just a fucking boatload of nut, you know. Like for real, it's like so just a boatload, like some penitentiary nut, like no pause, like no homo, like it's just like if I was locked up for 10 years type nut, you know what I mean? So now it's just like I want to just like figure it out. So but what I wanted to do, I'm saying that to say, I wanted to give a lot during the weekend. I wanted to make sure that I help a lot of people. I wanted to like inspire some people, and it was just certain things that I was going through in my life where I was seeing people. I was seeing like a young lady died that was a foster child that I knew. She had just died like a couple months ago. So the spirit was on me like, man, let me see how I can help. Like, let me see this premiere cool. We could shine in their face, pop bottles, go crazy. Oh, but let me go inspire. Let me go to the foster homes. Let me go to the boys' homes. Let me go to the homeless shelters. Let me see how I can help somebody, inspire somebody, talk to somebody, give, and then have my blessing and receive my blessing. You know what I mean, at the movie premiere, and it worked out like that, man. I was able to inspire some people, went to some beautiful places, met some beautiful people.
Right, and what people don't know is, cause I was with you pretty much the entire weekend.
Yeah.
And what people don't know is, this weekend you didn't really have much what the the ideal person would uh relate to as fun.
Yeah.
You didn't really like go out or
No.
spend a bunch of money and stuff like that. Like you if you did spend money, you were giving it. You were giving it away to people that are less fortunate. So
Facts.
like that was like a awesome way to segue into like what you honestly look at as a blessing.
Yeah, I'm maturing, man. I'm just really maturing. I'm looking at how valuable I am. You know what I mean? To my city, to my family, to my friends, to just people that I don't even know. So it's like I've always used that platform in a positive way, but now I'm doing it like where I'm acknowledging it and putting responsibility on myself. So I could have easily came to the club, went and threw some money at Truth, or what I mean, hung out here, hung out there before the premiere. Oh, went crazy, go on the block, shoot some dice and shit. I could have did that, but that ain't what I'm on right now. What I'm on is every day trying to figure out how can I help somebody, how can I help change the landscape of black people. I ain't no pastor, I ain't no preacher, I ain't no Muslim, ain't nobody in control of me. Nobody. I just want to be a movement. That's it. So that's what I'm on for real.
Right. All right. So yeah. So let's talk about you have all this stuff. You shoot the movie, you edit the movie. You guys been promoting it like crazy. You come back to your city. You spend a weekend here, and you give back. And then we have the granddaddy of everything, the premiere.
Mm-hmm.
Just take me through, like how was it waking up the day of the premiere? What was your energy like? What was your headspace like? Like, just walk me through that.
Oh man, I knew it was gonna be a serious day. I knew it was gonna be a moment that I wanted to see. I ain't really know how I was gonna play it. I was just gonna play it by ear. So I just woke up, got on my knees, prayed. You know what I mean? As usual, pray for some clarity, figure it out. Man, I got this beautiful room. Shout out to Pauline, my family. She put me on the top floor of Greektown. You know what I mean? So I had a beautiful suite to be able to kind of overlook the city. So it always gave me a moment of clarity to kind of just look directly in the city, you know what I mean, in the city face. So I prayed, got up, you know what I mean, do what I do. It was something different though. It was something that different that had threw me for that day. And I had to go and rechange my energy, you know what I mean? Because one thing, I know what it is. It's like when you have those type of days, you get everybody's that's trying to get the one-on-one, and it's like 1 verse 10, meaning where it's like, on this type of day, I'm talking to 10 people in 10 minutes. And while you just that one person and you just saying, hey, you trying to take all my attention, or just feel like it's a one-on-one conversation and it's really a 1-on-10. So it was a lot of those, pulling my emotions and stuff like that. So I had to kind of get rid of that. So I woke up. I woke up good. I woke up peaceful. Most of the day was peaceful, and then just a lot of calls and just draining me kind of threw me off. You know what I mean? So I had to just go back to the way and recharge and kind of refresh. Because for me, I was working all the way, like all the way into the end. I didn't never bask in it, like, oh yeah, we having a good time. Hope. I ain't never look at it like that. I was always how the door gonna look, how the props gonna look, how the setup gonna look, how's the sound, how's the AV, how's the TV. You know what I mean? I was always on that all day. So
Right. So, man, I was actually at the premiere. Um, and some people came and they were kind of dressed down. Some people were they were dressed like in tuxedos, very fancy and elegant, like. But I think everybody kind of like brought like a nice clean style
yeah,
to the premiere, no matter what you were wearing.
facts.
You being the director, the producer, writer, and director of the movie, um, you were kind of you were dressed down. Could you walk us through your reason for doing that?
I wanted to be humble. Like I didn't want to overdress because I knew I was gonna be working first of all, and then secondly, this was for everybody else. It wasn't for me. I'm just a vessel. God made me as vessel to give to everybody else. My main thing was for everybody in that spot to celebrate the moments. I already had my moment with the movie. You know what I mean? Editing it, watching it, cutting it, sound, this and that. We didn't live together all through. You know what I mean? We didn't did everything you could possibly think of. So for me, it was for everybody else. You know what I mean? To enjoy and put on their best clothes and kind of grind. I was there to work. Like this outfit right here, these pants, I had them on 4 days. You know what I mean? Straight. I done changed my drawers, but ever since I done been in the deep 4 days straight, I done had on the same clothes. Just getting up, shower, put on different drawers, and get to work. I don't look at that type of stuff like that. I ain't into that. You know what I mean? My watch 60,000. No diamonds. You know what I mean? So I ain't.
Right.
We ain't gotta talk about no money.
Bingo. So, yeah. Before, if people who weren't at the premiere, we're not gonna really talk about the movie too much because this is gonna come out before the movie goes public on Tubi June 1st.
Thanks.
But what we can talk about is before the movie came on, we actually had a very familiar and legendary and when we talk about Detroit, iconic face
Sure.
to introduce the movie.
Man, blaze up. We could blaze up now.
Yeah. Let's blaze up some giraffe.
I wanted to get through the majority of the video without him saying he's a dope fiend smoking weed all the way through the thing. Your comments. Like, this nigga won't stop smoking. This nigga, nah. But yeah, it was the question. Yeah, shout out Giraffe.
Shout out Giraffe Head. Shout out to my boy Willie. You know what I'm saying? That's what we smoking on set right now. Giraffe Head.
That's all I smoke. What I endorse.
Shout out to my guy Willie, man.
They gonna give me a percentage of the company soon. I'm gonna buy in.
So look, so yeah, when the person I'm talking about is Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Kwame be in my crib. Like, Kwame be in my crib. Kwame my man. That's my brother. You know what I mean? That's my big brother. Much success to him. He recently just got married. He's about to have another child. Congratulations to their family. Really proud of him. It just came about as he was at my house. Kwame be at my house working on a project. He's got a book out right now. He's doing an audio book. So he was at the crib. What was ironic was he was at the crib recording an audio book, like literally next door to my office in the crib. And I was at the office and I'm in my crib editing, sweating. I showed him a piece of the movie. He was excited, like, hey, Nuke, congratulations, man. But I was done. So I was like, damn, how could I get him in it? And he was over there doing that. And I was like, yo, I just went over there and was like, bro, you gonna open the movie up, bro, at this premiere. Like, I need you to do that. He was like, what's that? I was like, bro, that's what I need you to do. Just mention the movie. You know what I mean? Like, introduce the movie. Everybody in Detroit gonna be there. The bosses, the ballers, everybody gonna be there. And you have to do the opening to introduce the movie. Like, he was like, I'm with it. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know what to say. And what really got me with that was I had booked out this spot for him to go and do it at. And he was getting ready to do it. And I told him, I was like, bro, you ain't gotta say my name, bro. Just roll out Detroit Dreams. You know what I mean? This, that, and the other. And he did it. And then he was like, no, hold on, stop. Let me do it again. He was like, then he did it again, and that's when he did the one, you know what I mean? We was like, yo, my brother, let me stop. And my brother Al knew this, that, and the other. You did it. And it was so genuine. I was like, yo, that's the one. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna touch that. That was hard. Like, he killed it, you know?
Yeah, and the crowd went crazy.
I told him. I was like, bro, the crowd
went
will go crazy. They see this. He like, for real? I said, man, the crowd
went crazy. Like, as soon as everybody seen his face, everybody started cheering. You know what I'm saying? Everybody went crazy. And then when he said the part about my brother Al Nuke, everybody started clapping and cheering even more then. Like,
yeah.
It was
they knew it was real. I didn't like get it off YouTube. Like, right?
Yeah,
they knew I had really got it. So, like, yeah.
It was good energy. Like, Kwame, if you see this, if you watching this, I want you to know that, like, I welcome home. Everybody glad you home. Mm-hmm. We love what you mean and what you've done for the city.
Facts.
And man, don't ever stop. You looking good. You looking great right now.
He looking good, man. He about to do big things. He about to do big things, man. Kwame, you know, Kwame got some big stuff coming up, and he a pastor right now. Mm-hmm. So for people, you know, if you want that word, go get with him. I think it's called Monumental Situations. It's Monumental. Just pull up Kwame Kilpatrick on YouTube. His whole situation coming up. He the truth too. Yeah. I'll be on his joint.
Yeah, city behind you, Kwame. For sure.
Facts. Big facts.
Speaking of Kwame doing his introduction, it actually came after you did like a tribute of a lot of people that we had lost that were involved with the film.
For sure.
So could you speak on that?
So, you know, by being like a real Detroit movie, it was only right that we could show, like, we had to show, you know, our fallen soldiers, because we even lost a couple of soldiers in the shooting shit. We lost my baby Tizzle. We lost motherfucker Slime. And both of them brothers just killed their parts, like, real quick. Especially Slime. He just went crazy. He got his role so crazy. He forced his role. Like, another person was authentic to his character, because it was like, this nigga went on Instagram and said, nigga, how you gonna handle? He like threatened me.
I remember that.
He did a
like,
viral threat.
Yeah. A moving Detroit movie without me, nigga. And I remember you reposted it. You was like, bro,
hey,
you tag Skin, like, bro, get this. We
hey, I felt him, bro. I felt that nigga, bro. And maybe it was about, you know, I'm glad to be a part of his situation, man. It was tragic what happened to my brother, man. It was crazy, man. But I'm glad I was able to just put light on him. You know, if God had his plan with him, I'm glad that I was just part of that, just to help put light on him. I'm blessed for that, because he was a beautiful spirit, man. It's a beautiful spirit.
Right. And,
good dude.
And also it was there were what, like 2 more people that were involved. How many?
Man, it was I just know like them two, Tizzle, and Tizzle was good, you know, that was a good dude. I think it was just them two. But I lost my personal partner, you know what I mean, Dantana, like my brother, who I grew up with, you know. I used to live in his house and everything. Like, I lost him, more like one of my closest people. I lost him during the process of this joint too, which was real tragic. Like, for me, for my hood, for my family, because he was like the glue to the family. And yeah, I lost him, so that was kind of hurt. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was. And I want to say to everybody that was there last night, it was great energy, like, surrounding that in the building too. Like, a lot of the people that we lost, people was in the building.
Yeah.
You know, they came to represent.
Yeah.
You know, like, they was in the booth having fun and watching a movie and you know, like, you know, kind of representing their people.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it was all about.
Man, wasn't it? It was like I envisioned a big family reunion.
Yep.
Like a big city family reunion. And that's all it was. Because you had niggas in there that owed niggas money.
Yep.
Bitch, I want to bust your motherfucking head. I heard all type of shit. Niggas is their baby mamas. Bitch, I'm about to crack your motherfucking head. All type of shit. But it was like, it wasn't going to happen because the spirit and the mode was right. It wasn't nothing but bosses, baddies, and Detroit City. Like, it wasn't no, if you thought you wanted to do something, you wasn't going to do it, like, at that event. And that's what we promote. Like, shout out Smoke Promotions, you know what I mean? Shout out Light Skin Films, you know what I mean? Shout out myself, you know what I mean? Bringing a good aura, you know, bringing a good aura to the field. That's real. That's important.
Yes, sir.
You know? And you only can be OGs to do that. I just want to note that. Like, you gotta be one of them ones. Like, 'cause they always say Detroit is like crazy and this, that, and the other, but you gotta Like we had over 1,000 people in a place where only some people could sit down. Maybe 10% of the people could sit down. The other people couldn't sit down, and you didn't see no fights. You know what I mean? Not one altercation because you had 3, 4 OGs that's real respected involved in this situation. That nobody want to do nothing. So if they ain't know you, you ain't know them. It didn't matter because you knew me and he knew you, and we was all family at that moment. Detroit Dreams.
For real, like, and I want to say, if Detroit could be, if we could do shit like that all the time, like how it was last night, if the energy could be like that all the time, we'd be fucking unstoppable.
We will be. We about to be. This is only the beginning. I bet you this movie inspires so many other people to write rap movies now. Yeah, note that. Yeah. Note that for the YouTube and for the video people. Watch how many motherfuckers now go back and want to write movies about music and the music business in Detroit. You know what I mean? And watch how many come out after Detroit Dreams. Watch. But it's always going to be that Detroit Dreams that you're going to always have to watch 20 years down the line.
Right. So, yeah, man, just to wrap it up, if you had to say something to everyone who has watched the movie, everyone who was a part of it, every actor, actress, production designer, assistant, extras, anyone. If you had to say something to all of those people in one sentence, we ain't gonna say one sentence, but just just a statement. What would you say to them?
Thank you. I say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you. I know you feel like I probably screamed on you, and some of you I fucking went crazy on. But when you see the movie, now you see why. And I'm sure they talking to themselves and saying it. Yeah, that nigga was, oh, nah, I see why he did. Damn. Yeah. We was on a mission. I was on a mission from God with this movie. So if I screamed on you, I apologize. But to everybody that was a part of this movie, I really appreciate you, from the top person, executive producer, Kevin Kennard, Light Skin Films, to the, to the last person, to my cousin that didn't even work, but just got paid. Shout out Motor City Bill. You know how to get me. So everybody in between, yeah, thank you.
All right. There you have it. Detroit Dreams, out June 1st on Tubi.
Yeah, they saying June 1st, but don't kill me, because it might be June 10th. You know I be fucking up the dates. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. I be fucking up. I'm like 50 Cent. You know what I mean? We put the shit out when we want to. We tell you one date just to make sure you ready. And then after that, now we know you ready. Okay. Yeah. So it'll be out in June.
Detroit Dreams on Tubi in June. We got Al Nuke, Ear to the Streets. I appreciate you for coming through, man.
For sure, man. We appreciate you, man. Ear to the Streets 100, man. Last but not least, I want to tell you it's a big-ass world out there, man. Get out and get what the fuck you want to do. And if you want to see a miracle, look in the mirror, my baby, because it's you. Go get it.